Today, we're going to adjust our particle system so the particles work better in VR. Let's go! Alright, so for the past 3 months, we've been creating a particle system in a shader. And here are some examples of the effects we've made with it. If you haven't seen the previous episodes showing how to make this, I'll link the playlist down in the description so you can go back and catch up. The particle system works really well for regular games played on regular screens, but it behaves a little strange in VR, and I'll show you why. Let's come over here to this example, where I've made these particles like really plain and square looking, and I made them this way because it makes the problem more obvious. There are actually two different problems that are sort of related to each other. First, notice that as I move through the particles stay parallel to the plane of the screen. So even the particles that are over here kind of on the edges of the screen in my peripheral vision are staying flat and parallel to the screen. This is fine for standard screens, but in VR, what I actually want is for the particles on the edges to kind of turn and look at the camera position. So right now the particle billboards are aligned with the screen, and what I actually want to do is make them look at the camera. The second issue is that when you tilt your head in VR, the particles align with your head instead of staying aligned with the world. So let me show you. I'm going to switch out of full screen mode here, and I just want to select my camera. And I'm going to move over here so that we can see the camera. And okay, so here you can see the plane of the camera. And if I rotate around the Z-axis here, it kind of simulates a head tilt movement in VR. Can you see what I'm doing there? Okay, so if we watch this little screen over here down in the lower right, what you can see is that as I tilt my head in VR, the particles are aligning with the screen or aligning with my head instead of staying pointed up in the world direction. So you can see I've got my head kind of tilted to the side here, and all of the particles are still staying square with the screen. And what I really want them to do is to kind of go with the alignment of the world. Because what's happening here is that when I tilt my head in VR, these particles are rotating, and that's kind of an unexpected movement. I would expect that they would stay aligned with the up direction of the world. And so these are the two problems that we're going to fix. So in order to fix them, let's go ahead and take a look at our shader. So this is the shader that we've been creating for the last couple of months. And the portion that we're going to look at today is right here. It's this billboard node. We created this in episode 2. And so we're going to go back and take a look at this node today. What we can see here is that the billboard node takes the position of the particles and it transforms it from view space into world space, or actually object space. Let's go ahead and jump into our billboard subgraph here. And here it is. And we have this transformation matrix right here, which is transforming our particle effects using the inverse view transform. And what that does is it transforms them from view space into world space. And then over here, we transform them from world space to object space, which is where we need them for Unity. But the problem with transforming from view space to world space is that view space is aligned with the camera plane, or the plane of the screen. And we actually want to transform the particles so that they're looking at the camera, specifically for VR. So we need to make a couple of changes here. Let's go ahead and open up our blackboard. And we need to bring in the particle's position after it's been moved around by the particle system. So I'm going to add a new vector 3 here. And we already have a vector called position, so I'm going to call this one new position. Because the position that's coming in here is the position that the particle starts out in before the particle system has moved it around. So we're going to bring in a new position. Let's go ahead and switch back to our particle system here. And we'll save our billboard subgraph. And now you can see our billboard subgraph has this new position input that we just created. And what we want to do is, so our particle shader is moving the particles around quite a bit. And right before we apply our billboard and add that to our particle position, we have the position of the particles where they've been moved around by gravity and wind and by the direction that our particle system is telling them to go. So we can take this value and connect it into new position so that we can take the position of the particles where they are and have them look at the camera. So let's jump back into our billboard subgraph, and we'll go ahead and bring our particles' new position into the subgraph. Now what we want to do, we have this inverse view matrix here, and what we want to do is construct a new matrix that makes the particles look at the camera. So let's go ahead and do that. The first thing that we need to do is take this new position and transform it from object space into world space. So I'm going to add a transform node here, and I'm going to set this to go from object space to absolute world space. And we're dealing with position, so I'll leave the type set to position. And in order to construct a vector, I need to create the x, the y, and the z axes of the vector. So the z-axis is actually pretty easy. What we're going to do is take the position of our particle, and we're going to subtract the position of the camera. So here's the node that brings in our camera data, and we want the camera's position, so we'll go ahead and wire that up. And so what we're doing here is we're subtracting the world space position of our particle with the world space position of the camera. And anytime you subtract one position from another position, what you're actually doing is creating a vector. So I've created a vector from the camera to the position of the particle. So that's going to become the z-axis of my matrix. And actually, let's go ahead and add a matrix construction node. And this is going to allow us to pass in several vectors here to construct a matrix. You can see that this node allows us to construct a 4x4 matrix, a 3x3 matrix, or a 2x2 matrix. 3x3 is what we're going to construct today. And by subtracting our camera position from our object position or from our particle position, we've created... Oh, and I forgot, I also have to normalize this. That's going to make our vector a length of 1 so that we can make all the vectors the same length. This is really important for constructing our matrix. So now that we've normalized this, we can pass this into our M2 row, our third row of our matrix, or the Z axis. So I'm just going to group these two nodes, and we're going to call this Z just so that we can keep track. All right, next I'm going to create my x-axis, or this M0 row of the matrix. And in order to do that, I'm going to take the cross product of my z-axis and the up vector. So if you think of the z-axis as the axis going from the camera to the particle, what I want is the axis that points from the camera to the right. And the way that I get that axis is by using a cross product. So I'm going to take my z-axis vector here and plug it into cross product. And then my world up vector is 0, 1, 0. So by doing this cross product here between the vector that's pointing up in world space and the vector that's pointing from the camera to the particle, the vector that I get is the vector that is perpendicular to both of those, and that is our x vector. I'm going to go ahead and normalize this. And we'll group these and call them x. And then I can pass this into the first component of my matrix. So now I have my Z vector and I have my X vector. And the last thing that I need is my Y vector. And that's really easy to create because I can just do the cross product of the two vectors that I've already created. So I'm going to take the cross product of my Z vector and my X vector, and that will give me my Y vector. And now I have a matrix that's intended for lookats. But if we come down here and look at the matrix that we're using, this menu shows that we're using the inverse of the view matrix. And we've created our lookat matrix here, but what we actually want is the inverse of the lookat matrix. And the way that we can do that is by transposing the matrix. So I'm going to add a matrix transpose node here. And now we have a matrix that we can use to transform our particle system. So instead of aligning themselves with the plane of the screen, they're going to align or rotate the particles so they look at the camera. So we can use this matrix that we've created here instead of our inverse view matrix. And so I'm just going to grab this and wire it down. And now we're multiplying our vertex positions by this new lookat matrix that we constructed instead of the inverse view matrix. So let's save this and we'll switch back to our scene and let's take a look at the differences that we're getting. So let's fly into our kind of cloud of particles here. And you can see that these particles on the edges, instead of being parallel with the screen, the billboards are actually turning themselves to look at the camera. So if I look at this particle, for example, it's looking at me, but then when I turn over here, you can see that it's still kind of rotating to look at the position of the camera. And as I fly through this particle cloud, the particles are rotating to keep those particles aligned to look at the camera. If we tear off our game view here, and then we select our camera, let's take a look at what happens. Take a look at our game view here. If we rotate our camera to simulate a head tilt, now you can see that the particles are staying aligned with the world instead of rotating to stay aligned with my head rotation. So that's working great. That's exactly what we're looking for VR. We have particles that are looking at the camera and staying aligned with the world up vector. So if you're creating a particle system for a game on a television or a phone or a PC, you probably want to keep your billboard subgraph using the inverse view transform matrix. But if you're using your particle system for a VR application, you want to create this matrix here, which allows the particles to look at the camera instead of aligning with the screen axis. All right, I hope you enjoyed today's video and that if you're creating a VR application, this helps to get the particles looking more natural and more like what you'd expect if your head is actually in this 3D environment instead of aligning the particles to the screen. All right, that does it for today. Thanks so much for watching, everybody, and for supporting me as I've created this kind of building a particle system journey. I hope you've enjoyed it and that it's been useful, not only for creating a particle system, but for learning shader creation in general. All right, we'll see you in the next video, everybody.